Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome back to Being Heartful Every Day. Hope all of us had a good Bandara. Some of us could go to Canada and participate there. The others who participated online. I think it was really worth it. One of the best Bandaras, a lot of transmission, grace, and all that. Hope all of us enjoyed it. So let's continue with the Being Heartful Everyday program, which is being done as in commemorating Babaji Maharaj's 125th birth anniversary. We are in week 21, day 141, and the quality for the week is selfishness. Okay. My name is Prasanna Krishna. I'll be facilitating today's session. Welcome, very heartfelt welcome to all of you. Before we start, a very gentle reminder to everybody to please share the master classes with one or two people at least in your circle of friends and family, so that they can all learn about heartfulness and start the practice. And also, if you know of any practitioners who are practicing heartfulness but are not participating in this Being Heartful Everyday program, please take this opportunity to extend the invitation to them and welcome them. We'll start the inspirational reading part for today. We'll be reading an article from Daji on Yama. Basically, we are looking at refining our behavior, removing unwanted habits. Yama is the first part of Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga practice. Daji expounds on this very first chunk of Ashtanga Yoga and explores its importance in self-development and the path of enlightenment. Why does behavior matter so much in the spiritual field? It does in the spiritual field. And does it matter only in the spiritual field? Human beings have always valued nobility of character, kindness, generosity, and humility. We have also always venerated the people throughout the history who embody those values or principles. If you remember the meaning of the word yoga, it becomes clearer. Yoga means union, integration, oneness, including the integration of our inner and outer states of being. We cannot be saintly on the inside and also greedy, arrogant, or angry in behavior. That would be a lack of integrity. That lack of integration is not natural and leads to personality disorders. It is the opposite of holistic. Ultimately, there is no inside and outside, but one fluid state of being. So, if we are going to embark on a spiritual journey, our character must go with us. In today's world, this aspect of yoga is not well understood by Hatha Yoga practitioners and meditators alike, who are often happy just to do their practices. Why? Maybe because it means looking at the psychological mirror in order to change. Spirituality is not a path for the faint-hearted. Swami Vivekananda once said, "I need lions, not sheep." Have you ever wondered why such a great being said this? It's because every single moment we must work on ourselves to refine our lifestyle if we wish our consciousness to blossom. While yogic meditation while meditation with yogic transmission transforms us swiftly from the inside, melting away obstacles to progress, the stripping of our limitations at the very root. Life demands something more of us. Our inner world may be expanding and evolving, but if our personality and lifestyle lag behind, then we will remain spinning like a horse, spinning like those little mice in the running wheels. we will not be able to move forward on the journey. So, what sort of lifestyle is demanded of a seeker of the light? When Patanjali formulated his Astanga Yoga some thousands of years ago, he naturally included the refinement of personality and lifestyle as a part of yogic practice. He did so in two limbs known as Yama and Niyama. Here we'll explore those fundamental qualities espoused by Patanjali in the first limb, Yama. I like to describe them as the 5 oaths of a seeker. The word Yama has different meanings. In Sanskrit, it means regulation or self-discipline. Ramchandra Fatehgarh wrote, giving up untrue feelings and untrue thought is Yama. Yama means to give up. Yama is giving up of unwanted things from the heart. So Yama is the removal of everything that is necessary for a spiritual journey. In Hindu mythology, the god of death is also called Yama. How to reconcile this idea of the death being intertwined with the refinement of lifestyle? One answer lies in the right understanding of life itself. Physical life begins with conception and ends with the withdrawal of the soul. This does not mean suicide. The real secret is to die while we are transcending I-ness. I'll read that again. The real secret is to die while we are still alive, transcending I-ness to become universal. Meditation is also the process of consciously transcending the individual self, so that we can merge with the universal consciousness. Another way of saying it is, live as if you're going to die in the next moment. This constant reminder of Yama as death may on the surface sound morbid, but there is a tremendous wisdom in this idea, which is to transcend the I-ness of the ego with love. The ego can be a very restrictive force. It doesn't let life blossom, but when this transcendence appears, the ego becomes an ally and evolutionary in its purpose. The willpower of ego moves from being self-centered in individual consciousness to being in tune with the universal consciousness. So let's stop here and introspect on what we just read. Master has emphasized the importance of a lifestyle, why it is important. He has quoted Swami Vivekananda saying it's not for the easy. It needs a lion-hearted person. So, and also starts introducing us to the first leg of Ashtanga Yoga, which is Yama. Let's introspect on this. 9 o'clock we'll start a universal prayer. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. now. Let's start a universal prayer. Sit with your eyes closed. Sit very comfortably with your eyes closed. Let's get into a very prayerful attitude and offer a heartfelt prayers that all brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. These words carry a lot of meaning, but I would like to emphasize again that the attitude with which we pray is equally important. So let's try to get into that prayerful attitude. that all brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. हम आराम से बैठेंगे, अपना आंखें बंद करेंगे और एक गहरी प्रार्थना भाव में डूब जाएंगे और ये प्रार्थना करेंगे कि सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। ये शब्दों तो बहुत अर्थगर्भित है, पर इतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट है कि हम वो एटीट्यूड है ना, जो प्रेयरफुल एटीट्यूड, वो प्रार्थना की भाव, उसमें डूब जाइए और ये प्रार्थना करे कि सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। Let's continue this till about 9:15. Thank you. You can gently open your eyes while trying to retain the prayerful state we are in. Let's continue to retain that state as long as possible. Before we leave the session, we are at the end of the session. Before we leave the session, I just have one request with all of you. Daji gave a talk on the 29th morning after the 6:30 a.m. satsang. I'm sure all of us have heard the talk. For those of us who could have missed the talk, I would request all of you to listen to the talk again. And for those of us who have listened to it once, maybe we should listen to it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It is such a meaningful talk. And he's bared his heart out on what the masters want to give. How can we take the maximum from it? I think it's a very important talk, is what all of us felt. So please, in case you've not listened, listen to the talk. Else, if you have listened to it already, please listen, re-listen, and re-listen. So let's meet tomorrow at 6 a.m. Let's sit for a bedtime prayer before we go for the bed. So with this, let's wind up today's session. My heartfelt thanks to all of you for attending this session. Thank you and good night.